It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this time around we're talking about the Newton Community Theater's presentation of Annie. And as I'm recording this, it's actually being presented tonight on the 19th. It'll also be presented at 7 p.m. on the 20th and 26th, and then there are matinees on the 21st, the 27th, and 28th. And I had a chance to see the Pay What You Can, I guess you could call it dress rehearsal on Thursday night. And man, I'll tell you, it's very, very impressive. It's great what community theater can present, and hats off to the cast and crew of Annie. They did such a fantastic job. The director is Melinda Robertson. I went to school with Melinda, actually. We were in high school theater together, and I can remember when she played Gollum in Lord of the Rings when we had that. And also our interview guest, or at least one of them on this podcast, is Will Edgar, who is the vocal music director for this too. And you'll want to check this out at Newton Community Theater. But first of all, listen to the podcast audio that we have. We'll also be talking with the administrator for the Newton Community Theater, Sue Berkema, about Annie being presented at the Newton Community Theater, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, a word from our sponsors, including Wesley Life Park Center. Get ready for the colorful big run that they have coming up. It is the Purple Powder 5K Run Walk on Saturday, June 27th at 8:30, a fun, energetic event for all ages and activity levels. Reminder, they're asking for early registration. The deadline is coming right up. And it's a vibrant purple color powder situation where you'll be running by these powder stations. And it's a fun thing. And they did it last year. I remember that. They're going to have music to keep you moving. They'll have snacks to recharge, a fun photo opportunity along the way, too. And whether you choose to walk, jog, or run, you can take part in the 5K or 1 mile route. It's all about having fun and enjoying the experience. Registration is just $20 per person, and you're invited to come along. You can grab your friends and bring your energy drink and have a good time, and they're inviting you to make it a colorful morning to remember. And you can sign up and have a lot of fun with this. And of course, money goes to supporting the cause of prevention of Alzheimer's. And of course, they're all about doing that at Wesley Life Park Center. And they treat that, and they've expanded their Alzheimer's and Dementia Center at Wesley Life Park Center. And I've said this so many times before, but my sister spent the last few years of her life at Wesley Life Park Center, and they gave her great care, and they will give you or your loved ones great care too at Wesley Life Park Center. So sign up for their big Purple Powder 5K Run Walk coming up Saturday, June 7th at 8:30. And if you did not sign up for the event earlier, you can sign up the day of the race too. Also want to put in a plug for a Newton Clinic. From backyard bike rides to weekend camping trips, summer is prime time for outdoor adventures, of course, and the occasional minor injury from, like a scraped knee. It could be kind of rough. Something else that is even worse, like a twisted ankle. If that is not improving, or, think you could treat it yourself, well, you must want to consider going to the doctor's office for something like that. A bug bite also could be a big concern too. Don't let it ruin your summer fun. The team at the Newton Clinic is there to help you, and if they, are there for you, why don't you go there for them and see if they can take a look at it and patch you up a little bit so you can have more fun in the summertime. If you have a minor summer injury, why, for heaven's sakes, skip the long wait. Call or text them at 641-792-2112 and schedule an evaluation online at newtonclinic.com. That's newtonclinic.com. Check them out. They are here for you. You know what? I love those folks at Newton Clinic. They are great. And my own personal doctor is Dr. Joe Levette, and he's been treating me for a long time, and he's a fantastic doc. And if you go to Newton Clinic and you're new there, why, for heaven's sakes, you might want to go see the newest provider that they have, Kinsey Heiser, at Newton Clinic. Yes, indeedy do. Newton Clinic, be treated like family. Another fantastic sponsor that we have is Advantage Credit Union.
Let us pay you for checking with us. Hi, this is Leslie with Advantage Credit Union, inviting you to take advantage of Cha-Ching Rewards checking. Earn 3% APY on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $25 per month that ACU pays you. No minimum balance, no monthly fees. Simply do the things you're already doing and cash in at the credit union. Apply online at acuiowa.org or visit us in downtown Newton.
APY is annual percentage yield. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by the NCUA.
It's time for another Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this time around we're talking about the Newton Community Theater presentation of Annie. And it will be presented this weekend and the next weekend at the Community Theater. And we want you to come on out and enjoy it. It's a great musical. It's been around for a while, and we're going to hear all about it in just a moment. We're going to be talking with the musical director, Will Edgar, about that, and the director of the Newton Community Theater, Sue Berkema, in just a moment. But first, Will, tell us what Annie is all about.
Well, first off, thank you for having me, Jamie. Annie is about, of course, Annie. She's a young orphan in NYC, and she grows up not knowing she didn't have any parents, or she thinks her parents are coming back. She has a locket, and it kind of centers around that. And so she has the leader of the orphanage, Miss Hannigan, is kind of mean, and so she's trying to just find her way out of there. And there's some different things that happen, but it really centers around her trying to find her parents. And so there's a benefactor involved, Oliver Warbucks, who is a billionaire, and he has orphans come over every winter, and Annie ends up being one that's picked, and so it kind of goes off that story. She goes there and she meets different people, and different things happen, and so the story progresses, and in the end, it has a kind of really nice, kind of mixed ending to it. You guys will, if you don't know the story, you'll kind of find out. But it's a really lovely musical. Of course, Tomorrow, everyone knows that song from it. There's other great songs from it in the show as well. So lovely story. It talks about resilience and just the fight of being a kid in a society where she doesn't really have a lot, being an orphan. So.
Well, isn't this kind of set back in the 30s and 40s?
Yes, it's back in the 1930s. So, different time period. You'll see, you won't see any TVs or anything like that in this. There is a radio that you'll see on stage, which is really cool. And it's actually set for the time. So it's really, other than that, there's other really cool set pieces that you guys will see. But yes, 1930s New York. So, back then, and this is an all-girl orphanage, by the way, as well. So lots of different things that you'll see of that time period, and the costumes and just and the style of music too. It kind of has that swing kind of feel to it, kind of jazzy in a way, which would be definitely a popular of that time.
Tell us about some of the cast members. I know you have like two sets of casts, which is interesting, but you also have cast members who play in both sets also, and the roles that they play, Will.
Yeah, so I probably, off the top of my head, we do have a lot of orphans, and we have two casts for them, like you said there. I probably can't tell you everyone off the back of my head. Oh, I can right here.
You're getting prompted, so that's good.
I like it. So we have a red cast and a blue cast. So in the red cast, we have our Annie is Ingrid Alexander. Our Molly is Ella Soppy. Pepper is Quinn Soppy. Duffy is Madison Thomas. July, Christine Jacobson. Tessie is Hayden Munson. Kate is Kaylin Dupree. And then we have extra orphans in the ensemble. Eliza Baucamp, I think. No, this is a different one. There's two. We have multiple Elizas in this. We have a lot of kids that have the same name, Baucamp. Jayla Davis. Lydia Dupree and Jordan Lanzarada. Sorry, Lanzarada. I should have practiced before I came here.
No, it's all good, Will.
Yeah. So, and then the blue cast, we have our Annie is Caitlin Cope, and our Molly is Eliza Ketchum. Pepper is Jane Earl. Duffy is Abigail Cope. July is Corey Farrago. Our Tessie is Lucy Earl. Our Kate is Lexi Trout. And then our extra ensemble orphans are Jocelyn Cashat, Emmy Ketchum, Ruby Rother and Zella Rother. So we have some sisters there as well. And you'll notice you heard me say Soppy and Cope and Earl a lot in this. There's families in here, and it's really awesome to have these families in our show. We also have Warbucks. The adults actually in this whole thing, they do each show. So Scott Schaefer is playing Oliver Warbucks. We have Stephanie Alexander as the lovely Miss Hannigan. I shouldn't say lovely. She definitely is not always lovely and is a little mean. The lovely Grace Farrell, Leia Cope as Grace Farrell, I should say. Matthew Earl as Rooster Hannigan, and then Jennifer Earl as Lily St. Regis. And we have a number of, we have adults in this as a servants. We have Hooverville citizens, and we have radio station personnel. White House, we even have the President, Roosevelt, who's played by Mike Myers. And lots of other ensemble. This is a really big cast. So if I was here doing the whole cast, it would be a long time. But we have a lovely cast, and especially our Annies. They have a lot. Of course, it's the name of the musical. They have a lot to memorize, and I've been really impressed with how they've taken to their roles.
I'm going to go to Sue and defer to her on this next question, and I don't know if she can remember or not, but Scott Schaefer and I go way back because he's been in a lot of plays, as has Stephanie Alexander, Sue.
Yes, so the fun thing with Scott Schaefer is I directed Annie 16 years ago.
Wow.
And he was President Roosevelt then, and that was the first play he ever did.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was. So then Stephanie and I actually directed, she directed The Miracle Worker, and she's been in a few productions, and then now her children are also. So that's pretty cool.
Now, you've been known to do costumes. Did you do costumes for this one also, or was somebody else in charge of that?
No, I did the costumes too. And I have helpers, though, which really helps to have. And so I had some ladies that came in, and like one night we just did the orphans. We just did the orphans only. And then another night we did the servants. And so we kind of zone it. It makes it just a little bit easier than mayhem everywhere.
Well, you've done a wide variety of different musical productions over the years here at the Newton Community Theater, Sue. Why this time around, did you pick Annie?
So actually, Melinda picked Annie, and she came and said, we have these fabulous young ladies that have been in children's theater, and some of them were in the middle school show. And she said, I think it's a perfect opportunity, time to do this, because we have such excellent singers.
All right. Speaking of singers, why did you, Will, decide to be the musical director for this play? What is it you like about it so well?
Well, one thing, it's just a great classic musical. Everyone knows it, and I've never done it myself before, so it was great to be able to do something that's a classic, great musical. And I really like a lot of the classic musicals. I would say probably my style. If I could do anything, I would do a classic musical most of the time, if I could. But also, a lot of these kids are my own students, so it's kind of fun to work with my students outside the classroom. I've done a lot of shows with my students. When I did Les Mis, I had some of the Moran family. They were in that, and I had some of those kids in choir. When I did Joseph in the Mason Technicolor Dreamcoat, I was Joseph back in 2015. I had some students in that. When I've done producers, whether I've done, I did Jesus Christ Superstar, I had some students in that. And countless others. Something Rotten, just a few years back, there were some students in that too. So it's that kind of, I really enjoy working with young kids, middle school age and elementary too. I teach of course, middle school choir, but I also teach a youth choir too. So I like working with young voices. So, and then another thing about the vocal stuff with the, I didn't mention earlier, is the red cast and blue cast. Why we did that. The kids' voices can tire out real quick. So, especially if you have consecutive shows. So we split them up so that their voices can have a day to rest and some time to kind of recover, because it really is pretty tough. It's tough on the adult voices as well as the kids. So.
Well, when I came into the theater this afternoon to record this podcast, I saw a woman training a dog. What's up with that, Will?
Well, Cindy Healy does a lot of, and anytime we have any animals for shows, Cindy does such a wonderful job of having a dog for us and training it to perform on stage. I think a lot of people don't realize if you have a live dog on stage, it doesn't always do exactly what you want to do, right? In some shows, some people you will do, like a fake dog or different things. For example, I know in Into the Woods sometimes they'll have the Milky White from Into the Woods. They'll have a fake cow or something. But it really is really nice when you can have an actual animal. And so Cindy does a great job in training the animals and getting them on stage for our Annies, because they need to be trained so that they can do what they need to do on stage.
That dog seems to be following orders very well, so that's going to be wonderful. And that's the dog for all the productions, right? You don't have a stunt dog or anything like that, or another dog that's going to fill in if that dog's not going to be healthy.
Well, we don't. Well, we do have another dog. So one of Suzanne von Segren has a dog as well, because there's multiple dogs in the show that are out on stage. So actually, we do have two dogs. Although the main dog that Cindy has will be the one for the show. So
Suzanne von Segren, that's another one that goes way back. Back in the 80s, I was going to be her assistant director for the play On a Clear Day, and she was directing, and I got an offer to go to work for a radio station in Carroll, Iowa, and I had to take off. But I love Suzanne. And when I was in the play Once Upon a Mattress, where I met my sweetie Lynette, she was Queen Agravain. And she had this long speech she made. And all I had to do was stand there and nod my head. And her speech was like a couple pages. And she's a great community theater person. Has been around for a long time. And, Sue, and maybe I think you can speak for the community and the cast and the people who support the community theater as to why folks in Newton and surrounding areas should support the Newton Community Theater.
Theater is such an important aspect of mental health and enjoyment and relaxation, and it's a very creative outlet. So it lets people come and be an actor or actress that they would like to be, and oftentimes it gains in great confidence.
And how can people support the community theater?
We will always take donations, which is very much appreciated. We also have people in town that also are giving vintage clothing to us. And the best support we can have is for people to come to the show and support us through our ticket sales, because that makes the day-to-day running of the theater much easier. And we do have season tickets and benefactor and patrons levels available that you could come to all 4 productions and with your ticket that you bought.
And if people have a business, they can buy advertising in your playbills also.
Yes, so in our playbills we have advertising, and once you do the advertising, it runs for the entire season, and that's a great way to support also. Now for this production too, Brent and Amy Doring are sponsoring it in honor of Sandy Olsorn. Oh. So they sponsored the royalties. So sponsoring royalties or doing a production, sponsoring the advertising, any avenue is appreciated.
Yep, Sandy and Harvey Olsorn, big supporters of the community theater too. I know years ago that he built the sets, and she's been in a lot of plays too, and God bless those people. They're just absolutely wonderful people. Will, can you tell us about the presentation dates and times?
Yes. So tonight we have our Come As You Are, Pay As You Want.
So when we're recording this on Thursday, it'll probably be played back on Friday. So let's start with Friday. But it is a good idea to plug the Pay What You Want or What You Can, right, Sue?
Yes, so we are doing the last rehearsal before our show opens. We've done this for a year now, and it's Come As You Are, Pay What You Can. Mm-hmm. And that is a great way to bring children if they're not going to last through a show. If there is, say, someone has back problems, they can walk, they can pace. Autism, any spectrum child is very welcome.
Okay, great. And so sorry to interrupt you, Will, because we are recording this on Thursday, where it's a special presentation day. But other than that, maybe you can give us the presentation days, and I know you have a couple of matinees also.
Yes. So June, this Friday and Saturday, June 19th and 20th, the shows are at 7 p.m. And then this Sunday on the 21st, it's at 2 p.m. And then the 26th, it is at 7 p.m. And then as well on the 27th and 28th at 2 p.m. So we have a different kind of times for different days. So 7 p.m. for the 19th, 20th, and 26th, and then 2 p.m. for the 21st, 27th, and 28th. So,
okay, can you tell our listeners how they can get tickets for this, Will?
Either on our website, online on our website. We also have it posted on Facebook, and then also you can either call in to the box office, or at the door. We still have tickets available, and we should have them available at the door. But don't wait, because tickets do often go really quickly, especially in a show that is a well-known one like this one.
And tickets were, I guess, available, and the phone was ringing for them as we were doing this interview. So that's actually pretty good news. And Sue, what is the number for the box office?
The box office number is 641-792-1230, and our website is www.newtontheater.com, and theater is, the last two letters is R-E.
Yes. Yes, there's a difference between R-E and E-R, and I was taught that by my drama teacher in high school, Mr. Chuck Betts, who, told me there are no small parts, just small actors. So that's not only good for theater, but good for life. So those are the best teachers of all. Guys, thank you so much for chatting with me today, and do you tell the musical director and the director of the theater to break a leg? I don't know, but I hope several legs are broken.
I actually am in the show, so I'm Mr. Bundles, the laundryman. So I come in for a little scene. So you will see me on stage, and then of course at the bows at the end. But yeah, so I do get a little spot in it. So.
Okay. Is the orchestra backstage again?
Yeah, they're backstage in the orchestra loft.
Okay. That's very interesting that you do that. That's great. And I found out from Sue that that's actually fairly common, and I did not know that, but that's a neat thing that you guys do. So anyway, the community theater in Newton has come a long ways since they were kind of a traveling show. That I remember as a kid, they were at the VFW, which of course is now closed, and they were also at the Hotel Maytag at one time, and they kind of jumped around until they went to an old renovated church, and that was bought by the Rotary Club, and now they're here, and it's just been quite a history of the Newton Community Theater, so I'm glad that it's surviving and hanging in there. So good luck to you guys, and come see Annie. You will not be disappointed. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. Thanks for joining us. Come see Annie. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that. Other fine sponsors include Made Right Sandwich Shop, Westside Java Coffee Bar, along with Lynette Baker, Halo Branded Solutions, and Jersey Freeze, sure to please in Monroe. Until next time, Grout is out. See ya.